Fellas, especially if you're over 50 or even over 60, listen closely. Because what I'm about to share might hit a little too close to home. If your mornings don't feel the way they used to, if you're waking up softer, slower, or with that engine that just won't turn over, this isn't just aging, and it's not something you have to accept. That unpredictable, or even missing morning power, is often the first signal that something deeper is happening inside your body. Something that, if ignored, can snowball into low energy, weak circulation, poor performance, and a serious loss of confidence. But here's the part most men never hear. There is one simple, almost ridiculously easy thing you can do before breakfast every single day that can start reversing this decline faster than you think. And no, it's not another pill. It's not a complicated workout. It's not extreme. It's a small, practical habit that directly boosts the one biological pathway men over 60 desperately need to keep turned on. If you've ever wondered, why am I losing my edge? Or, why do my mornings feel weaker than they used to? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's happening, and the solution is far easier than you've been told. Take a breath, because here's the good news. What you're experiencing is completely fixable. In most cases, it has nothing to do with being old or past your prime. That's a lie many men have been sold. The truth is, your body is not broken, it's not done, it's not shutting down. It's simply responding to years of small, silent changes you weren't taught to notice. And once you understand them, you can start turning things around shockingly fast. I've seen men in their 40 seconds, 50 seconds, 60 seconds, even late 70 seconds restore their morning strength, boost energy, and feel like themselves again with just a few targeted adjustments. Real improvements often happen within 7 to 14 days, and some men even email me after 3 or 4 days saying, "Doc, something's waking up again." And the best part? You don't need complicated routines, extreme diets, or a total life overhaul. What you need is the right sequence, the right timing, and the right morning trigger to switch your body back into performance mode. Once you understand what this morning fix actually does inside your system, you'll see that you have far more control and far more potential than you've been led to believe. Now, if you're new here, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Ma Carmel, a urologist who's spent my entire career helping men, especially those over 40, regain their energy, confidence, performance, and sense of identity. For over 2 decades, I've sat across from men whispering the same thing. "Doc, I don't feel like myself anymore." And I take that seriously. I've treated thousands of men with circulation issues, hormonal shifts, metabolic changes, and performance concerns from subtle morning weakness to full-on burnout. The lesson is clear. Men don't lose vitality just because they're aging. They lose it because no one taught them how to protect it. My approach has always been simple, straightforward, and rooted in evidence. No shame, no judgment, no scare tactics, just real solutions that work in the real world. And as we go deeper today, I want you to know you're in good hands. I understand what you're going through, probably better than you think. And more importantly, I know how to help you get back to the man you want to be. Stronger mornings, better performance, more drive, more energy, all of it. Here's the part almost nobody explains. The real reason your morning power fades isn't random. It's not just hormones, and it's definitely not about getting old. There's a hidden enemy at play, hitting men over 40, over 50, and especially over 60. That enemy is slow, silent circulation decline, a mix of inflammation, poor metabolic timing, and a drop in nitric oxide that chokes off the very system controlling your morning strength. Think of your body like a car. When you were younger, your fuel lines were wide open, pressure was high, flow smooth, and everything responded instantly. You woke up ready, no effort required. But over the years, the hose narrows. Not because you did anything wrong, but from daily stress, less movement, disrupted sleep, and a natural dip in nitric oxide, the molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up. It doesn't happen overnight. It creeps up silently. One year you're fine, the next year you're hit or miss, and suddenly your engine struggles to turn over in the morning. Most men blame testosterone. But here's the truth. You can have normal testosterone and still have weak mornings if your circulation timing is off. It's like having a powerful engine, but a clogged fuel pump. Doesn't matter how good the engine is if the fuel can't reach it. Inflammation, stress, and metabolic slowdown stiffen your vessels and slow your system. Together, they create a perfect storm. Poor morning circulation equals weak morning signals equals reduced morning power. And the worst part? It whispers, it doesn't shout. You might not notice until it hits your confidence, your energy, even your relationships. But once you know the enemy, you can fight it and fix it with simple, science-backed tools that wake the system back up. And that's exactly where we're heading next. Now that you understand the hidden enemy behind fading morning power, let's dig deeper into what's actually happening inside your body. Your morning strength isn't random, it's a biological report card. It tells you how your circulation, nitric oxide levels, nerves, and metabolism are functioning. When it starts to slip, your body is quietly signaling that something needs attention. And here's the truth. This system is highly responsive, especially during the first 60 minutes of your day. That's why the before breakfast window is so powerful. It's the moment when your body is most primed to repair, reset, and perform. Let's break it down step by step. First, nitric oxide. Men over 40 produce less of it every decade, and it's the master switch for opening blood vessels. Think of it as the green light your circulation system waits for every morning. Low nitric oxide is like trying to run water through a kinked hose. No matter how strong your engine, or in this case, your body is, nothing flows as it should. Next, vessel flexibility. Over time, inflammation, stress, poor sleep, and processed foods make your blood vessels stiffer. Younger vessels open instantly, like a fresh rubber band. Older vessels hesitate, and when your brain sends wake-up signals at night, they respond slowly. Third, your nighttime oxygen cycle. While you sleep, your body uses oxygen to repair nerves, tissues, and muscles. When circulation is sluggish, that oxygen doesn't reach where it needs to go. You wake up already behind. Fourth, cortisol timing. Normally, cortisol rises gently to wake you up, but in men with poor circulation, it spikes too early and too high. Cortisol constricts vessels, counteracting nitric oxide, and blunting your morning signals. Fifth, blood flow priorities. Your body sends blood to critical organs. First heart, brain, lungs. Performance systems, the ones that control morning strength, get whatever's left. Often, that's not enough. Finally, muscle memory fades. Even the tissues that contribute to morning strength lose elasticity when they aren't used or properly supported. All of these factors, nitric oxide, vessel flexibility, oxygenation, cortisol timing, blood flow distribution, and tissue responsiveness, are under your control more than most men realize. And here's the crucial point. Small, consistent morning habits influence every single one of these processes. That's why the simple, before breakfast fix works so effectively. It taps into the exact biological window when your body can repair, reset, and perform at its peak. You don't need a complicated routine, hours at the gym, or fancy supplements. You just need the right trigger at the right time. So, what is this trigger? It's almost laughably simple. A short, intentional, low-intensity walk before breakfast. Just 5 to 10 minutes, ideally outside, at a relaxed pace. Not a jog, not a full workout, just a gentle activation of your circulation. Here's why it's so effective. First, it wakes up the endothelial lining of your blood vessels, the very cells responsible for producing nitric oxide. The gentle friction of blood against vessel walls during your walk signals them to release nitric oxide, opening up your circulation. It's literally flipping the switch on your system. Second, it balances cortisol. Moving before breakfast lowers early morning cortisol spikes, allowing your vessels to relax and respond properly. Third, oxygen delivery improves immediately. Your tissues and nerves get the oxygen they need, boosting morning responsiveness. Fourth, your metabolic timing resets. Walking before eating tells your body to use stored energy efficiently, stabilizing insulin, lowering inflammation, and improving circulation across the board. And here's the kicker: it has to be before food. Once you eat, blood rushes to your digestive system, diverting resources away from performance areas. Doing this walk before breakfast ensures your system is optimized exactly when it's most receptive. Many men notice improvements in as little as 3 to 10 days. By the 2-week mark, the endothelial lining of your blood vessels begins repairing itself. Nitric oxide rises, and circulation is consistently stronger. Morning strength becomes more reliable. Energy levels climb, focus sharpens, stiffness eases, and mood improves. And you're doing this without pills, extreme routines, or drastic lifestyle changes. This small habit rewires your body to work the way it's designed to, and it sets the stage for compounding benefits when combined with a few other simple steps we'll cover next. Now that you know the before breakfast walk is the cornerstone, let's talk about the bonus habits that take this simple routine and multiply its effects. These are small, easy-to-implement tweaks that work synergistically with your morning walk to boost circulation, ramp up nitric oxide, and sharpen your morning performance. You don't need a gym, a strict diet, or a massive time commitment, just smart, practical habits that fit into your daily life. First up is the warm water wake-up. Right when you get out of bed, before coffee, before breakfast, drink a glass of warm water. Warm, not cold. Why? Because warm water helps relax your blood vessels, kickstarts circulation, and hydrates tissues that support your performance systems. Most men wake up mildly dehydrated, and dehydration thickens blood and tightens vessels. That small glass of warm water alone can make a noticeable difference in energy, alertness, and morning blood flow. It's subtle but powerful. Next, let's talk about nitraric foods with your first meal. Nitraric foods naturally feed your nitric oxide pathway, giving your blood vessels the fuel they need to open and flow. Think beets or beet juice, arugula, spinach, pomegranate, or blueberries. You don't need a massive salad at 7 a.m. Even a small glass of beet juice, a handful of arugula under your eggs, or a sprinkle of berries in your yogurt is enough. These foods work behind the scenes to amplify the effects of your walk and keep nitric oxide levels steady throughout the morning. Another powerful habit is the 30-second pelvic pump. This one surprises most men, but it's incredibly effective for enhancing circulation and nerve signaling in the pelvic region. Right after your walk, tighten your pelvic floor muscles, the ones you'd use to stop a stream of urine. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds, then release. Repeat for 30 seconds. You can even do this while brushing your teeth. Over time, this simple exercise strengthens muscles that help maintain blood flow and responsiveness, directly supporting morning performance and long-term prostate health. Now, let's address a common silent killer: late-night sugar. Consuming sweets right before bed spikes inflammation and tightens vessels, sabotaging your morning circulation. I'm not asking you to give up dessert forever, but shifting it earlier in the day or reducing late-night sugar can deliver noticeable results in just a few days. You'll feel it in your morning energy, mental clarity, and even confidence. Put these habits together, and here's what you get: a 5 to 10 minute pre-breakfast walk, a glass of warm water, a nitraric food with your first meal, a quick pelvic pump, and minimizing late-night sugar. This combination doesn't just make a small improvement, it supercharges your nitric oxide production, enhances blood vessel flexibility, lowers inflammation, and resets your body's morning signals. The results? Stronger mornings, sharper focus, more energy, improved mood, and a consistent rise in vitality that you can feel almost immediately. And here's the best part: you don't need perfection. You don't need extreme diets, complicated supplements, or hours at the gym. These are smart man habits, simple, repeatable, and realistic. By stacking these small habits, you're retraining your body to work the way it's supposed to, and you're doing it at the exact time your system is most receptive. But let's be clear: ignoring these signals comes with real consequences. Your mornings are not just about energy or performance, they're the early warning system for your vascular health, metabolic timing, and nervous system function. If you let circulation slow, nitric oxide drop, inflammation rise, and muscle responsiveness decline, you'll notice it creeping into your confidence, your mood, your relationships, and your energy. Weeks go by, then months, and suddenly you realize that subtle decline isn't so subtle anymore. On the flip side, when you take action, even in small ways, change happens quickly. Your mornings regain power, your focus improves, your energy climbs, and the quiet frustration that's been lingering starts to fade. You feel more in control, more motivated, and more like yourself. Men tell me over and over that the difference isn't just physical, it's mental and emotional too. They feel younger, steadier, and more confident simply because they started addressing the root causes instead of just hoping for improvement. These small, consistent actions stacked together are how real transformation happens. It's not overnight magic, but within a few days to weeks, you can start feeling noticeable improvements that build on themselves. And the beauty of this approach is that it's sustainable. You're not relying on pills, expensive treatments, or extreme interventions. You're working with your biology, not against it, and that's what creates lasting results. Now, let's bring this full circle and talk about what happens if you ignore these early warning signs. Fellas, this isn't fear-mongering, it's about understanding the consequences and taking control before small issues snowball into bigger problems. Your morning power isn't just a measure of performance in the bedroom. It's one of the most accurate indicators of your vascular health, metabolic efficiency, and nervous system function. When it starts slipping, it's your body quietly signaling that something needs attention. If you push past it, week after week, circulation continues to decline. Nitric oxide drops further. Inflammation rises, and the subtle decline in your morning systems begins to affect every part of your day. Energy levels dip, mental clarity fades, motivation decreases, and confidence can take a hit. You start feeling like you're just going through the motions instead of thriving. Over time, this can spill into relationships, work performance, and even your overall sense of identity. Men often don't notice the gradual erosion until they're months into it, thinking, "Is this just aging?" That's the lie many have been sold. Aging doesn't have to mean surrendering vitality or power. Here's the good news. You can reverse it faster than you think. Remember the biology we discussed? Circulation, nitric oxide, vessel flexibility, oxygenation, cortisol timing, and muscle memory, they all respond to the right triggers at the right time. This is why the pre-breakfast walk and stacked habits work so well. They leverage the window when your body is most receptive, giving you a tangible way to push back against the decline. It's not about overhauling your entire lifestyle overnight. It's about taking smart, consistent actions that produce measurable results. Imagine waking up tomorrow and feeling the difference in just small ways. Less stiffness, sharper focus, more motivation, and improved energy levels. Imagine noticing that your morning signals are coming back online, almost like turning the ignition key on an engine that had been slow to start. This renewed morning power sets the tone for the rest of your day. You move with more confidence, handle stress more effectively, and even your interactions with others shift because you're functioning at your best. Let's also talk about the mental and emotional impact. Many men I work with report that once their mornings improve, they feel mentally clearer and more present. Work tasks feel easier. Stress is more manageable, and there's a renewed interest in hobbies, fitness, and personal connections. Even your mood stabilizes because your body and brain are finally getting the oxygen, blood flow, and nutrient delivery they need first thing in the morning. It's a domino effect. Stronger mornings lead to more productive days, and more productive days reinforce the habit loop, creating sustainable vitality. This is where the simple stack of habits: pre-breakfast walk, warm water, nitraric foods, pelvic pump, and cutting late-night sugar truly shines. Each habit amplifies the other. The walk stimulates nitric oxide and circulation. The warm water hydrates and relaxes vessels. The nitraric foods fuel vascular function. The pelvic pump strengthens local circulation and nerve responsiveness, and reducing late-night sugar minimizes inflammation and vessel constriction. Together, They target every weak link in the chain that leads to lost morning power, creating measurable improvements in days to weeks. And here's a key point. You don't need perfection. You don't need to execute every habit flawlessly or be rigid about timing. Consistency is far more powerful than perfection. By simply committing to this small, realistic daily routine, your body begins retraining itself. Your endothelial lining repairs, nitric oxide production increases, circulation improves, and your morning systems start functioning as they should. Over time, you reclaim not just strength, but also confidence, energy, and the quiet assurance that you're fully capable of maintaining your vitality at any age. Fellas, this isn't just about fixing mornings. It's about taking responsibility for your health, your performance, and your confidence. Every small habit you implement is a choice to honor your body, restore your energy, and reclaim the power that may have quietly slipped away. And the beauty is, these strategies are simple, science-backed, and designed to fit into real life without overwhelming your schedule. Now, let's talk about the power of consistency and how small daily actions create long-term results. Fellas, this is where most men get it wrong. They wait for a miracle moment or expect instant perfection. The truth is, your body responds best to steady, consistent signals, not sudden extremes. Every morning you take action just 5 to 10 minutes walking before breakfast. A glass of warm water? A nitraric boost with your meal? Or a quick 30-second pelvic pump, you're sending a message to your system that it's time to wake up, perform, and repair. Think of it as telling your body, I've got your back. Over days, weeks, and months, these small habits compound. Nitric oxide levels rise, blood vessels regain flexibility, inflammation decreases, and circulation throughout the pelvic region improves. You start noticing subtle changes. Your energy lasts longer, your focus sharpens, and your mood stabilizes. What seemed like random morning weakness begins to fade. Tasks that felt exhausting become manageable. Even simple things like getting out of bed or tying your shoes feel smoother because your body is functioning optimally. And the benefits don't stop there. When circulation improves and inflammation drops, hormonal balance follows. Testosterone and other key male hormones function more effectively when the body's systems are optimized. This isn't about taking a pill or chasing supplements. It's about letting your body operate as nature intended. Your metabolism becomes more efficient, energy production ramps up, and muscles respond more effectively. That sluggish morning fog you've felt for years? It starts to lift naturally as your internal systems sync back up. Here's something many men don't realize. Morning power is a window into overall health. When your mornings improve, everything else improves too: cardiovascular health, cognitive performance, mood regulation, and even sleep quality. Strong mornings reinforce a cycle of vitality. Better mornings lead to more energy throughout the day, which leads to smarter choices, more movement, better nutrition, and ultimately stronger mornings again. It's a self-reinforcing loop, and it all starts with those first intentional minutes before breakfast. Let's revisit the hidden enemy we discussed earlier: slow, silent circulation decline. When addressed early and consistently, it doesn't just stabilize, it reverses. Blood vessels regain elasticity, nitric oxide production becomes more reliable, and tissues get the oxygen they need. Muscle memory in the pelvic region improves, meaning your body becomes more responsive, reactive, and energized. Stress hormones normalize, cortisol spikes in the morning are tamed, and your nervous system starts firing signals like it did when you were younger. In other words, your body remembers how to perform at its peak. Consistency also builds confidence. There's a psychological boost when you wake up and feel the results of your efforts. You're no longer guessing whether your body will respond, you know it will. That confidence spills into daily life. Work performance improves, social interactions feel easier, and intimacy becomes less stressful and more satisfying. It's a subtle, powerful shift. The quiet confidence of a man who knows he is taking care of himself and seeing results. Here's the final point: the stacking effect. Each habit amplifies the others. The walk primes circulation. Warm water hydrates and relaxes vessels. Nitraric foods fuel nitric oxide production. Pelvic pumps strengthen muscles and nerves. Reducing late-night sugar keeps inflammation low. Together, they create a synergy that is far more powerful than any single action. And the best part? You can start today, without complicated equipment, expensive supplements, or long hours at the gym. Just a few intentional minutes every morning, repeated daily, gradually rewires your system for better function, energy, and performance. Fellas, if you implement these habits consistently, over time, your mornings won't just return to normal, they'll feel better than they have in years. You'll reclaim vitality, confidence, and a sense of control that may have been missing. And remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about daily, intentional actions that send the right signals to your body. It's about waking up and choosing to invest in yourself, knowing each small step adds up to a profound transformation. Now, let's bring it all together because this is where the transformation becomes real. Fellas, everything we've discussed, the morning walk, warm water, nitraric foods, pelvic pumps, and reducing late-night sugar is more than a checklist. It's a daily protocol for reclaiming your vitality. Starting from the moment you wake up, when you consistently apply these habits, your body begins to function as it was designed to. Circulation flows freely, nitric oxide levels stabilize, inflammation drops, and your hormones start operating in harmony. That's why men notice changes so quickly, sometimes in just a few days. And as those mornings strengthen, the effects ripple throughout the entire day. You'll find more energy, sharper focus, better mood, and an unmistakable sense of control returning to your life. Here's the beauty of this approach. It doesn't just fix morning performance, it protects your long-term health. Strong, flexible blood vessels reduce the risk of cardiovascular problems. Proper nitric oxide production supports brain and heart health. Lower inflammation protects joints, muscles, and metabolic function. Essentially, by taking a few minutes each morning to reset your system, you're not only restoring your vitality, you're safeguarding your future. And it all starts with small, simple, repeatable actions that anyone can do, no matter age or fitness level. Think about the psychological impact too. When you know your body responds predictably and reliably, confidence builds naturally. You wake up feeling like yourself again, which positively influences everything. Your work performance, your relationships, even your motivation to stay active and eat well. There's a quiet power that comes from knowing you are in control of your body and your health, and that feeling multiplies over time. Each successful morning reinforces your commitment, creating a positive feedback loop where better mornings lead to better days, and better days lead to stronger mornings again. Let's also address what happens if you ignore the warning signs. Slow circulation, low nitric oxide, and inflammation don't just plateau, they worsen. Over time, mornings become weaker, energy drops, and confidence diminishes. It quietly affects mood, focus, and even intimacy. The frustrating part is that it doesn't announce itself loudly, it creeps in. That's why so many men over 40, 50, and 60 think this is just aging, when in reality, it's a signal your body is asking for support. The earlier you take action, the faster and more effectively you can reverse the decline. Now, for those of you ready to take your mornings to the next level, here's the ultimate reminder. Consistency is key. 5 to 10 minutes each morning before breakfast is all it takes. Stack the habits, hydrate, move, fuel your nitric oxide, strengthen your pelvic floor, and minimize late-night sugar. Repeat daily. It sounds simple, because it is simple, and that's why it works. You're not chasing a pill or gimmick. You're using the body's natural biology to restore strength, energy, and confidence. Fellas, imagine waking up tomorrow with that old spark back. You step out of bed, full of energy and focus. Your mornings feel effortless. You have control over your body again, and that quiet confidence spreads through your day. Work feels easier, your interactions feel sharper, and intimacy feels natural and enjoyable. That's not a dream. It's the result of understanding your body, respecting its rhythms, and taking the right steps consistently. So here's my final challenge for you. Start tomorrow morning. Take a short walk before breakfast. Drink warm water. Add a nitraric food to your first meal. Try the 30-second pelvic pump. Reduce late-night sugar. Observe how your mornings respond over the next week. Small steps create big results, and your body will reward you. If this video resonated with you, here's what I want you to do. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss practical health strategies for men over 40, and drop a comment sharing which habit you're going to start with tomorrow. Share this video with a friend or loved one who could benefit, because taking control of your mornings and your health is something we all deserve. Fellas, your vitality is not lost. It's waiting for you to reclaim it. Start today and take back your mornings, your confidence, and your life.